Google just launched a brand new update for Gemini 2.5 Pro that now makes it Gemini 2.5 Pro I/O. And essentially what this does is make this model way more powerful. And by the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly how to access it and 4 crazy things that you can now do with this model because it just got a massive upgrade. Okay, so in order to actually access this, it's actually pretty easy. You could access this straight from Gemini right here. Literally all you have to do is just come into 2.5 Pro Experimental and it has the update on it. Or if you come into AI Studio, you will see the same exact thing. If we come over here, you're gonna see Gemini 2.5 Pro Preview and you'll see 0506 because this update was just released yesterday, May 6th. And if we look at Flash Preview right here, you'll see that the last update on this was actually April 17th. So there are some crazy capabilities that this now unlocks. For example, let's say something along the lines of, can you please code this app? And then what we could do is literally just upload a drawing right here. So look at this drawing. We are going to just say, can you please upload this app? And then we're going to put in a photo of this drawing right here. We're going to click on upload files. I'm going to come into my recents. I'm going to grab this right here. And one other thing that I did want to call out before I actually get this to do this is Gemini just released another update where you can now actually add up to 10 files when you go to prompt Gemini. So let's say that you wanted to build out an app and you wanted to have several different screens. You could actually upload a bunch of different screenshots here or a bunch of different design elements here, and it can actually go ahead and do that. So can you please code this app? That is literally all that we had to say here. Now what this is going to go through is this is going to start thinking exactly how it would do it. It starts going through the core functionality. It builds out a step-by-step plan. And then once this plan is actually done right here, this is going to begin building out this app, which is mind-blowing. It literally just took a doodle that we had, a simple drawing, and one simple prompt. Can you please code this app? Now watch what this is going to do when this goes through and this actually codes this. Now another thing that I did want to call out with Gemini, if we come over to Gemini right here and we log into my account right here, the correct account, what you're going to notice is that gems have their own placement here. Now, the reason that Google is beginning to do this is because they're about to release a ton of new updates coming to gems, which I would strongly suggest that you stay tuned with. If you don't know what gems are, basically it's the same thing as ChatGPT projects where you can actually train it to be good at a specific thing. You could add in instructions here, you could add in knowledge, and then it's going to have a bunch of memory within this. So if you wanted it to do a specific thing, for example, be really good at writing YouTube scripts for you, you would be able to build that out in here. And like I said, they're going to be releasing several new updates for this. Okay, now if we come over here, what we're going to see is that this right here is almost done coding this right here. And then once it's actually done, we are going to be able to preview it right here. Now look at what we have here. This literally made this app right here, and I can come in here and even interact with it because this thing works, which is pretty crazy. And from here, I can turn the drawing into a sound, I can clear it, or I could come back over here and just start drawing other things here. Now, like we see right here, this is pretty incredible. From just a simple sketch right here that somebody could have drawn on a napkin, you now upload this in here and you are going to have this preview right here and this prototype of this app. That was just use case number 1. There are still 3 other insane things that this now unlocks. For example, let's say that I wanted to come over to one of my competitors right here. So we're going to go under Think Media Mastermind right here, and we're going to see that they have this page right here. Now what I can do with this is I could take a screenshot of this and have them recreate this. Check this out. I'm going to have to hide myself here on the screen, which is going to take me 1 second, but then I'm going to be able to code specific things. So let's say that I wanted to recreate this right here. I'm going to take a screenshot of this, and then I'm going to take another screenshot of this right here to actually show you that you could upload multiple things here. We're going to take a screenshot of this. Boom. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to a new chat right here. I'm going to say, can you please recreate this landing page for me, but it should be for my AI automation agency. Now, if we come into files right here, upload files, you'll be able to see that we can grab multiple screenshots and multiple files right here. So we could see how this actually handles this. I'm also going to turn on Canvas right here, which you probably would have done anyway, but I just want to turn that on to guarantee that it actually creates that in Canvas, because if not, it might not bring up this canvas right here. It might just give you the code and you won't be able to preview it in here. You won't be able to view the code and see all of that very nicely right here. Okay, so as we can see right here, okay, I can help you create that. I'll create a new landing page design tailored for an AI automation agency, drawing inspiration from the structure and style of the screenshots that you provided. So it says this page is going to feature compelling headline and an introductory section, a section detailing what businesses can achieve, clear call to actions, a clean, modern, and professional design using Tailwind CSS. Now what this is doing, this is going ahead and this is actually coding all of this. And then once this is done, I am going to be able to preview this. Now again, there are still two other use cases that I want to show you, and they are only going to get crazier and crazier, because if you struggle with things like UI design or creating visual representations of things, you are going to love these next two use cases. Okay, now as we could see here, this went through, this actually created this landing page. It made it very modern, it made it very sleek, and again, it is inspired by the different screenshots that I put over here, but they made it more modern, they made it more sleek, and I actually think that they took what I gave them and made a way better version of it. Now, before we get into the next two things that you could do, which are only going to get crazier and crazier, I wanted to make sure that you smash that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date on the latest and greatest AI tools. I upload videos like this every single day, and you're not going to want to miss them. In addition to that, if you want to learn how to automate your work with AI, how to build AI agents, even if you don't know how to code or how to make money with AI, I strongly suggest that you go to the pinned comment below and check out AI Automation School, because the price for it is going to go up this week, and I want to make sure that you get locked in if you want to learn how to automate your work or things like that with AI. Okay, now to show off this third use case, I put in here create a calendar app, and this is the app that it actually went ahead and created. And now what I'm going to do is type in this prompt right here. Make it significantly brighter, more modern, ultra sleek. Use a clean, minimalistic design approach with vibrant accent colors, clear typography, and smooth UI elements. Avoid clutter and make it look like something designed by Google or Apple in 2025. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and submit that, and what this is going to do is actually fix this UI and make it a little bit better. And this is a huge use case for this, because what I see most people doing if they are using Gemini or any other vibe coder to be able to create anything is they create things, but the UI doesn't actually look that much different. It's not brighter, it's not more modern, it's not more sleek, and that's a huge issue, because essentially what ends up happening is this will just go through and it'll create something that is very bare bones and that doesn't really look very updated. Okay, so once I actually refresh this, which by the way, I did have to refresh this in order for the code to update here, we could see that this now has a brand new design here, which is pretty cool, because what this does is it has a little bit more dark. In addition to that, the day that is today, we're actually going to get this green right here, which I really like, because if I just pull up my regular calendar right here, it's kind of difficult to realize what day it is when it has this little red thing, and then it just has a bunch of other stuff going on here. So I like that a lot, that this makes it abundantly obvious what day today is. I like the rest of the color scheme here, and I like the way that this made this look, because I think that it looks a lot more modern and it just pops a lot more. And it's not just modern in the fact that it's white, it's more modern with the different fonts that they chose, how the different buttons look, and all of that stuff right there. So again, one huge use case for this is being able to redesign things and redesign the UI incredibly quickly, because I asked it to just make one change and then it went through and changed the header, the day cells, shadows and borders, the responsiveness, and if I wanted to be more selective about exactly what I wanted it to change, I could have just specified different things and it would have went through and actually changed it. And again, this is great for apps. This is great for websites. This is great for building out little widgets and things like that. All those different things you can now boost the UI on. Okay, now the final use case that I have here is, can you please code me a visual representation of MCP, Model Context Protocol? We're going to put this in parentheses right here. I'm trying to explain it to my high school students, but they're having trouble understanding it, and I think a visual representation will make it more clear. We're going to turn on Canvas again. We're going to go ahead and submit this. Now, you can do this to build visual representations of pretty much anything. The more context that you give it, the different ways it will actually build things out. But you could use this in a presentation, you could use this for teaching, you could use this in a course, you could use this in a PowerPoint, you could use this literally in anything that you could think of. And I think that this is a fun way for you to be able to visualize things, because if you poll most people, they are visual learners. They don't want to see a bunch of text on a screen. They don't want to see some boring graph of something. Instead, they want to be able to interact with things. So the more visualizers that you can build like this, the more fun you're going to have trying to teach people things and try to get them to actually understand things, which again, you are trying to get people to learn new things, to understand things all day long, probably, whether it's interns, whether it's students, whether it's your children, whether it's anything. So being able to do this makes it incredibly easy for people to actually understand this. So what we could see here is Model Context Protocol, MCP Visualizer, see how AI models get information, context they need to understand, and respond to your requests. So we have these three different things here. We can click on Simulate Request right here. Now this actually goes through and simulates exactly what is going to happen here between all of these different things, and we could see exactly how this moves from user/request, from contextualizer to orchestrator to context sources, and then back to the AI model so that somebody can a lot more easily understand exactly how this works. And as we can see here, the simulation is complete. The user received a context-aware response from the AI model. Click Simulate Request again in order to run again and again. We could click on this again, have it run again, or if we wanted to change anything about it, we could come down here and say, hey, could you please change it to look like this? For example, I'm going to say, make it look more like a video game. And this is going to go ahead and recreate this and make it look more like a video game. Now, as we could see here, it went through and updated a bunch of different things. It looks more like a video game now. I can start the simulation, and this even added in sound effects right here, which again, I think is way more helpful, and it's going to actually help people understand exactly what MCP is in the context in which they like to learn things, which is video games. Now, if you like this video, you should check out this video right here that walks you through how you could automate things like your email, Slack, and so much more using Claude's new integration. I'll see you over there.